Hi there. I am really wanting to do this, but somewhat apprehensive about it all. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yep, I'm sitting here. This is where my wife and I used to come when she had a hard time. And at this present time, I'm practicing retirement. It's definitely a daunting thought. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I know it'll work out well. It's just the usual insecurities and all that crap. So, but this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I would like to think that I'm doing something in my retirement. I know that I've seen a few podcasts and they talk about how you shouldn't retire from work, you should retire to something. And that I can understand that. That's true. It's try to figure out how to zoom in a little bit. No. So yeah, I've seen a few things that talk about how you should not retire from work, retire to something. I'd love to retire to doing this, doing photography. I'm not going to say that I'm a great photographer or anything of that nature, but I honestly feel that I have an ability. I've got what I'd refer to as this artistic touch that I see a lot of people who are technically proficient don't really have. So, all in all, I want to think about retirement. I mean, it's a scary, scary thought. I mean, the only thing I've ever been good at in my life is work. I've worked all my days, and I have to admit that for the majority of my life, my work was pure enjoyment. Like, I enjoyed working. I was at sea. I worked on rigs. I worked as a commercial fisherman. I did all these things, and it was a lot of fun. So for the best part of my life, I don't feel that I really worked. It was just, I was doing what came naturally, and I had fun doing it. So, but now we're getting to that stage in life where we're supposed to retire and step away from working, and that's really hard because, as I say, the only thing I've ever been good at is work. Or that's what I feel. The only thing I've ever been good at is work. Everywhere I worked, I got along with people. People enjoyed having me there. I seemed to do well at whatever I turned my hand to. So yeah, it's a terrifying idea that I'm gonna stop working. So as I said, I feel that I do have to do something in my retirement. And what I would love to do, I'd love to really get into my photography, and maybe, I see these people on YouTube and stuff that are teaching photography, and technically they can take a good picture, and in a lot of cases I think that's not really what it's all about. I mean, when I first started, I first got a camera when I was, in I was 21. I think my wife bought me a camera for my 21st, an old Russian camera, great camera, heavier than a sack of hammers, but it was a good camera, and I really enjoyed it. And then life and work got in its way, and I never kind of done it, and now I kind of look back and think, shit, I should have, would have, could have, maybe I should have tried a little bit harder to incorporate stuff like that into my life, but it was just too easy just to go to work and keep working and doing all that kind of thing. So now I truly feel that I can go ahead and produce good pictures, frame them, and then maybe go to one of these markets on a Sunday, and sell a picture here and there. Just to kind of round out the concept of taking a picture, formulating a picture, developing the picture, building the frames, and then, hopefully somebody somewhere likes what you've done, and I'll take it from you. So that's what I am looking to do. So my idea is to retire next April. This is August, late August. So, I want to retire and try and develop interest. Like, it's not so much developing interest, because I have the interest. The interest is there to do the pictures, and I even surprise myself sometimes. They actually turn out really quite good. And when I first kind of got back into the photography, you listen to these YouTube videos, and they talk about the picture should tell a story. And I think, what a lot of crap. Like, what the hell are you talking about? The goddamn story. Well, it didn't take long before I figured out that, hey, that is what a picture does. A picture does tell a story. It's you're not just taking something that's technically correct. It's not just something that's technically properly exposed, focused, all this sort of stuff. The picture should say something, and I know that for a while it's actually hindered me, because in the beginning I would just take pictures. I'd get home, put them on Lightroom, and wow, that's a nice picture. Wow, that's a great picture. Wow. Then I started looking to try and get something with some meaning instead of just going with the flow and taking pictures as I saw them. I started becoming more and more critical and figuring how I wanted to try and tell the story. And a lot of the times, you look at a scene and you think, there's nothing there. But, you should be able to find something always. I think you should be able to find something always. But so I have to get over that kind of hurdle and get back into just taking pictures and finding out, oh, wow, that was a good picture. I never realised at the time that this was a picture of some merit. So that's what I plan to do. But up to now, between now and April, I got to practice this retirement stuff. I got to try and get myself into that way of thinking, I suppose. I don't know, it's something new. It's pretty darn permanent. At my age, when I quit my job, I'm not going to go out and just find another job other than a Walmart greeter. So I have to try and figure out how best to retire. And like I say, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but haven't had the nerve. And I've had this camera here for a long time, and just never had the nerve. That's plain and simple. You're just scared of doing it. Scared of talking to a camera and talking. What I'm hoping is once I start yapping, I won't shut up, and it'll come easier as time goes by, and I can actually convey something to people. So how I found myself here now, this is a spot that my wife and I used to come to. She passed away just recently. But, as a typical native woman, she set me up, made sure I had all the toys, I got all the things I need to have a good life, except her, obviously. But hopefully I can put it all together and we can get over this fear of what's to come. It's driving here, I had a lot of things running through my head about how I've got to be honest with myself. I'm somebody, I've been in lots of dangerous jobs and stuff like that, but here you got this silly little camera and you're talking to yourself and you're absolutely terrified. So hopefully I can get over that terror and move forward and develop the life that I know my wife would have wanted me to have. Because that's something I would say is a really hard thing. You know, you've lost somebody in your life, but it would be even worse if you lost them again by not living your life that they helped develop for you. You know, I think if I just grieved and never moved forward, not moved forward, that's the wrong term. I'm not moving ahead. I'm not getting over it. You never get over it. But you're utilizing all the tools that were given to you to have a good life. So that's what I have to do. I have to embrace what she gave me and enjoy life. And that's something I have to admit that I don't even know if I know how to have fun. You know, I've spent all my days working, and I've never been a fun person. I used to always wonder what the hell she saw in me, because she was such an electric personality, and here I am, just dull. You know, I don't have the personality that I think of as being entertaining or fun to be with, but for some reason she seemed to like it. So here we are. We're gonna try this, gonna see what we can do, and hopefully I'll do this again. Okay, thank you. Bye.